In late 2020, I made a video about supporting railway preservation groups, and I had a really good time doing it, trying to visit as many museums and ride as many trains as I could, and I'm still doing that now. However, some overwhelming feedback that I do get in the comments section is that a lot of you who are watching either didn't know those railways were operating, when they were operating, or you know, how to find information about it so they can visit when they're around. So what I've kind of decided to do is do a monthly video, which will go through all the news, updates, announcements, be it tours, be it restoration work, be it all that kind of things, railway preservation, and have them all in one place. So it'll cover everything from full-size railways, like out here at Steamrail in Melbourne, down to light rail, like trams and bush railways and things like that that are in preservation. Everything that I talk about in these videos will be linked in the description, as well as that in the timeline, it will have it stamped of which organisation that I mention. Now, this is the first episode, so I will no doubt miss a few things, and that will probably happen possibly in the next few. At this point, this video will be monthly and will come out in that first kind of week of the month. I haven't fully decided on a day or an actual time frame, but you'll at least get it in the start of a month. So let's take a look at all the news and announcements in railway preservation around Australia. So let's start in sunny Queensland. Archer Park Rail Museum in Rockhampton is after volunteers, and they've said that if you are interested in becoming a volunteer, to head on down there or send them a message via email or social media. Now they do have two events coming for June, and the first is the Family Fun Day happening on the 25th of June. They've said you can enjoy a morning tea with wonderful scones with jam and cream in the refreshment rooms, or have a sausage sizzle. As well as that, they will have live music from dancing groups, community displays, classic Ford and Holden cars, craft and market stalls, and lots more. Entry to the museum will also be at a discount price at $4 for adults and concession and children at $2, with tram rides priced at $2.50. Following that, they will have school holiday activities on the 28th of June, which attracts several hundred young people every year. And they do have lots for the kids to see and do. They can get up close and personal with steam and diesel locomotives, and of course have a look through the carriages. The Southern Downs Steam Railway is touring to Miles, Queensland in September 2023, and this will be the first time they've travelled on the Queensland Railway's Western Line, so they invite you all to be a part of this new experience. The trip departs Toowoomba on the 8th of September and returns on the 10th. They are visiting and experiencing the Miles Outback Festival. Accommodation will be in Chinchilla due to the lack of capacity in Miles. All costs are covered in the price, so that includes food, accommodation, tickets, bus transfers, and of course steam train rides. They added that tickets are selling fast, so don't miss out, and they have capped the number of tickets available to only 100. Tickets for this event are priced from $950 and are available directly from their website, as well as tickets for other events. Also during the month, Southern Downs released a new promotional video, and here it is.
The Downs Explorer is a unique adventure as you travel across the southern Darling Downs, where you see all of the beautiful countrysides, the rivers, the valleys, the ravines. We're located at Warwick, Queensland, 2 hours west of Brisbane in beautiful southern Queensland country. As you come onto the platform, you will see our beautiful steam train. Carriages are up to 100 years old, and the steam train is a C17, which is 40 years old. When you travel on the Downs Explorer, you'll travel up through the beautiful national parks and the Granite Belt country here between Stanthorpe and Walhalla. You can really immerse yourself into the landscape. We offer a heritage rail experience across the beautiful Southern Downs. We travel through country that has been travelled through by people since the early 1800s. You get to travel on a unique steam train that gives you the best of what Australia has to offer.
The Gulflander is back in service between Normanton and Croydon, and of course vice versa. The service recommenced on Wednesday the 10th of May, following its closure after quite a large wet season. Passengers are in for a stunning, picturesque journey as they travel through the Gulf country on the legendary Gulflander. The Merry Valley Rattler semi-announced that there is something new coming. They said that one of the fleet in this photo will soon be making a return to service with a new experience that will include some of Merry Valley's best produce. So which one will it be? And I have to assume it's the Railmotor, but I guess we'll find out soon. And as well as that, as of the 24th of May, the organisation celebrated 25 years of being a heritage railway. In South Australia, the National Railway Museum have completed ballasting, levelling and tamping of the Fisher S-Bend triple gauge 150 metre section. The National Railway Museum did some testing on the new track using their Red Hen railcars 321 and 400 on Saturday the 13th of May. They said that there is still some small fine-tuning to do, but everyone is very happy with the overall huge track work progress that is vital to change to the National Railway Museum's operations. As well as that, the National Railway Museum's annual Family Fun Day is soon approaching, with lots of entertainment, face painting, their Red Hen railcars, the small train, and this event of course is not to be missed. As well as that, the May edition of Catchpoint came out on the 12th of May. Steamranger did have some unfortunate news, and they released a statement regarding a derailment. And it went as follows. Steamranger Heritage Railway can confirm that at approximately 4 PM on Sunday the 21st of May 2023, their regular cockle train service between Victor Harbour and Gulflander derailed between the seaside holiday towns of Victor Harbour and Port Elliot. 2 of the 4 heritage railcars were derailed in the incident. Approximately 30 persons were on board the 1950s Red Hen railcar set at the time of the derailment. No injuries were reported by passengers or crew, and were all safely evacuated and completed their journey to Port Elliot and Gulflander by coach. A formal investigation into the cause of the derailment is currently underway. Steamranger appreciates the concern from locals and tourists, however they ask the interested parties avoid accessing the derailment site while the vehicle recovery and track repairs are undertaken. Updates regarding the operation of the historic cockle train while recovery is undertaken will be provided by the Steamranger website or via the Steamranger social media channels. As well as that, they are asking for help, hitting their first fundraising target for their heritage diesel locomotive 704. They are aiming to raise $10,000 for a new set of batteries so they can start testing components. So possibly the most interesting movement for the entire month was vintage locomotive 701 in Murrarylander colours, which left its yard at Talon Bend and made its way to Dimboola in Victoria, picking up Steamrail standard gauge rake. Now, I'm not 100% sure what all the details are on this, but it looks like at the time of recording this, it will be heading up to Albury to retrieve some of the standard gauge former V-line end sets and returning to Talon Bend in South Australia, which means we possibly will see mainline tourist operations happening in South Australia for the first time in, well, almost forever. So keen to see some more news developing from there, hopefully soon. In news from Pichi Richi Railway, who posted that on Anzac Day, prior to the departure of their afternoon Pichi Richi Explorer service, their engine crews discovered a collapsed roller bearing on steam locomotive W22's leading pony truck. The decision was made to pull W22 from the train and replace it with their ever-reliable NT76 for the afternoon run. Meanwhile, their locomotive maintenance team got straight into returning the locomotive to service, disconnecting all components required to remove the pony truck from under the locomotive. W22 was then lifted high enough with their 25-ton screw jacks to roll the pony trucks out, which was then disassembled to reveal the extent of the damage, which was a bronze cage collapse. At this point, the decision was made to temporarily borrow the wheel sets from underneath stored engine W933 to ensure that W22 could continue to run with their train services while replacement bearings are fitted. These wheel sets were disassembled, cleaned and inspected. They were then packed with fresh grease before reassembly and insertion underneath W22. And they want to say thank you to their dedicated team for their persistence. W22 is ready to run and only after 3 days work. Down in Tasmania, some quick news from Don River Railway, who have asked that if you want to assist them, don't hesitate to get in touch, as a significant volume of projects are currently being worked on at the moment, as they did suffer a fire back in April, and their carpenter's workshop has been lost. As the cleanup and eventual rebuild continues, they are keen to give their hardworking volunteers a temporary area in the main workshop so restorations can continue. So an update from the Launceston and North East Railway for the membership and supporters that not much has been happening while they wait for their accreditation, which all hinges on the Crown Insurer providing advice on whether the ride-on lawnmower is used to assist patrons pedal up the hill from Walders Road to Turners Marsh, which needs to have either $30 or $200 million public liability insurance cover. Westcoast Wilderness Railway had a progress check on Carriage 14, where initial panels have now been installed. The existing stages have begun to put the carriage back together, with a complete overhaul taking place, adding a special mention to Darren and his team for these images and their incredibly talented work. They also have a schedule of different events throughout the season, so do check out their social media and website to see what else is available. In New South Wales, East Coast Heritage Rail are heading up to the Blue Mountains to Katoomba for the Winter Magic Festival on the 24th and 25th of June. Then they head south for their regular Cockatoo run, with tickets now available on their website with a number of spots still available at the time of the release of this video. The picnic train have a number of tours coming up. The Dungog picnic train on the 18th and 25th, and to Barrington on the 17th and the 24th. After that, they are off to Coffs Harbour with shuttles in early July, which will be followed by the normal Kiama picnic train on a number of dates in late July, with all tickets and tour information available on their website. Transport Heritage New South Wales have their latest edition of the Roundhouse magazine available. Autumn 2023 is on its way to members and is on sale from the New South Wales Railway Museum. This edition includes relaunch of Locomotive 3001, a recap of the THILMERE Festival of Steam, and updates on static restoration of 5711. As well as that, they did add some tours. Upcoming is Bathurst over the June long weekend, where they'll be running a return trip to Wimbledon behind locomotives 3526 and 3642 in a double header. On the 12th of June, you can take a longer excursion out to Orange, where you'll have time to stretch your legs and get a bite to eat before returning to Bathurst. On the 11th to the 20th of August, Transport Heritage New South Wales will operate one-way trips and return shuttles across the New England region, making the first return to steam to Armidale since 1997. And lastly, they do have new dates added for the Newcastle Flyer, saying that due to popular demand, they have added a second weekend of Newcastle Flyer services with locomotives 3801 on the 22nd and 23rd of July. Illawarra Light Railway Museum has the Tauranga Train and Car Day on Sunday, June 11th. See the cars and ride the trains with the Illawarra Light Railway Museum and the Jamberoo Valley Classic Vintage Car Club put on a display of classic cars and historical trains. Tickets are $10 for a child and $15 for an adult, or $55 for a family of 5. The Maitland Railway Museum will be holding an open day on Sunday the 4th of June, and they've said it's going to be a memorable one. 10 Class Locomotive Limited, in conjunction with Maitland Railway Museum, are holding a community open day to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the end of steam coal haulage at the South Maitland Railway, which was during June 1983. Valley Heights announced their inaugural Blue Mountains Steam Funfest. The Valley Heights Rail Museum is working in collaboration with the Campbelltown Steam Museum and the Model T Ford Club to bring you the inaugural Blue Mountains Steam Funfest. This will be happening on the 8th and 9th of July, and just in time for the school holidays. Lachlan Valley Railway welcomed back Locomotive 3237, which undertook a successful mainline trial. The locomotive then began its journey to their operating base in Orange, as well as an overnight stay in Lithgow before continuing back to Orange. The Railmotor Society in Paterson are running tours from Armidale to Kittingal for lunch on Sunday the 11th of June. This will include morning and afternoon tea and a delicious country-style 2-course lunch at Kittingal Hotel. At Cooma Monaro, they received Locomotive 3203 and its tender. They said before 3203 was moved into its new shelter beside the goods shed, it will get a full clean and an assessment by its volunteers while sitting in Goods Road number 4. And they wanted to say thank you to everyone involved for making this happen, including Transport Heritage New South Wales and Transport for New South Wales. And they're amazing volunteers who put so much effort into the preparation for such a huge arrival. As well as that, to celebrate the start of the winter season, they've got a huge day planned at the Cooma Railway Station. On Sunday the 11th, they'll have an artisanal market, car boot sale, miniature steam rides, kids train display, and ready-to-eat food, with more information on their website.
So this very first stage of the relocation moves our state-listed assets into a much more protected arrangement at the new Illawarra Heritage Hub. From there, we'll be able to reduce the degradation, the decline, and actually start undertaking some preservation work so that future generations will be able to view and see and even experience these older pieces of rolling stock. Our very first movement today out of Broadmeadow was Locomotive 3203, which is going all the way to Cooma on a custody arrangement with the Cooma Monaro Railway.
This is a huge moment for the museum here down at Cooma. To finally have a steam locomotive back in Cooma at the precinct for the first time in almost 35 years is going to go a long way to helping us tell the story of Heritage Railway down here at Cooma. The 32 class locomotives were a mainstay on this line for close to 100 years. So very important to the story down here, and then really looking forward to showcasing it to all of our visitors.
The Zig Zag Railway reopened to the public after 11 years on the 27th of May. At the beginning of the month, they have passed all their accreditation and will now be open every second weekend, 3 trips to choose from on Saturdays and again on Sundays. And tickets are now on sale, and they'll be running until the end of 2023. And they said that they cannot thank their supporters, funding bodies and volunteers enough for their dedication in bringing the railway back to the passengers once again. Tickets can be purchased directly through their website, but do be patient as their demand is high after an 11-year hiatus. Steamfest in Maitland has been called again for 2024 with the dates of the 13th and 14th of April, and I hope to see you there. In Victoria at Steamrail, they do have a couple of tours coming up. On the 1st of July, they have another Eureka Express heading up to Ballarat with the mighty R-Class locomotive. However, this trip has been routed via North Geelong, so this does mean a slightly earlier departure from Newport and Southern Cross and a slightly later arrival time into Ballarat. However, this will not affect the afternoon journey. There are still some tickets available, however the last time they ran this tour it sold out quite quickly. On Sunday the 4th of June, they're going to run quite an interesting tour with steam locomotive A2986 hauling the Tate train. However, it is a shuttle trip, so it does mean that the Tate train will be leading the steam engine on the way back. As well as that, a tour that I hope to see lots of my fellow Melburnians on, which is the Members Tate Train Suburban Ramble on Sunday the 18th of June. Now this is a tour that is only for members and friends of members, but I do encourage everyone to join up. The Tate train will be making a little tour from Newport to Williamstown to Flinders Street, then up to Upfield for the first time in 20 years. As well as that, it'll then head over to Alamein and then off to Middle Brighton for lunch. Then via Flinders Street heading back to Newport. Over at 707 Operations, Edwardian Carriage Wando, which was built in 1923, has marked its 100-year birthday. And if you are interested in travelling in Wando on an overnight experience like I did here, they do have the upcoming Riverlander to Daylesford and the Moama Winter Lights Festival. And as someone who's now done a couple of their overnight tours, I can definitely say it's worth booking. And Wando sure makes for an interesting carriage to stay in. Seymour Railway Heritage Centre are offer their first ever trip to Portland on the 14th, 15th and 16th of July. As well as this overnight tour, they will also be running shuttles on the Sunday the 15th of July for Portland and Hamilton locals. This is set to be quite a big tour, so if you are interested in booking a ticket for this, check out their website. At Daylesford Spa Country Railway, works have recently been undertaken on the back platform at Daylesford, allowing services to once again depart from this road. The works included upgrading the rail from £60 to £80, with concrete sleeper replacement and a renewal of the pile buffer stop. The sleepers and rail for this project were made available through the Material Reuse Program, an initiative of the Railway and Tramway Heritage Victoria in conjunction with VicTrack. The N-Class project at the Traralgon Roundhouse recently saw their volunteer team hard at work at restoring the turntable at the heritage-listed Traralgon Locomotive depot. Their volunteers finished repainting the turntable girders. They do look great, and in the coming weeks all the work on the turntable will be completed. At the Walhalla Railway, the Class 10 is back, with services running between 11 AM and 1 PM on Wednesday and weekdays as planned. The Class 10 has received a new compressor, which also means a lot of carriages and room for all. They did want to say thank you to everyone for their patience while they worked on their locomotives, and hopefully they'll be able to employ a mechanic soon who'll be able to keep their services running reliably. Although while the locomotive was under repair, they were running trolleys. Passengers had a unique journey and seemed to really enjoy the experience. Puffing Billy Railway announced the Train of Lights, which is back on again from the 23rd of June to the 9th of July. Now this event did sell out extremely quickly last year, and I did get the chance to go along and chase it, and it was something very unique. So if you are after tickets to ride this 55-minute journey from Lakeside through to Gembrook, I'd suggest trying to book now. And as for the tour providers, Cruise Express is running the Intercapital Daylight Rail and Sail, a 7-day adventure which begins with a 2-night coastal cruise from Sydney to Melbourne. Other highlights are including an exclusive journey aboard the Heritage Electric Tate Train, a mystery dinner location, and travel on the Spirit of Progress, featuring several of the original 1937 carriages. As well as that, they'll be doing the Swing into Spring in September, where they'll travel to the beautiful Southern Highlands on a privately chartered rail heritage motor, 621 and 721, for 3 days of fun, food, wine, tulips, and a special performance by the dazzling boys in the band. Railway Adventures will be running an 11-day fully escorted journey that showcases not only Victoria's culinary-rich cities and towns, but also its unique natural beauty. They'll have rides on the Overland, Puffing Billy, and a unique lunch experience on Australia's premier rail restaurant, the Q Train. This tour covers heritage steam train rides on the VGR at Malden, experience the Ballarat and Bendigo museums on vintage trams, a private charter tour on the Derm at Daylesford, and many other experiences. As well as that, in Queensland, if you are interested in prehistoric creatures that once roamed this ancient land, they have an 11-day fully escorted expedition of the Australian Dinosaur Trail, with more details on booking information on Railway Adventures website.
So that's all the news and announcements for May 2023. I guess I'm looking for feedback. Is this a video series that you are all interested in watching? And something that I would like to, well, if you want to be a part of it, if you are part of a preservation organisation or a museum and you have news, articles, photos that you want to submit, please reach out to me via email. All my links and contacts are in the description, as well as everything that I talked about today. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. And of course, if you do have any feedback on this video or even other videos on my channel, please leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to be subscribed so you can keep up to date with all the videos that I have coming out soon. And of course, you can share this video with anyone that you think would be interested. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all again soon. Hooroo!